So listen, so we are having national education policy. There the policy says that the school education gives 3 language to teach. The first language should be your regional language, the next language is English, and the third language should be any language of the given list. It is up to your choice. Okay, this is the contract given. So in Tamil Nadu, the Tamil will be the first language. In Kerala, Malayalam will be the first language. So from this what I can explain is, there is a general rule or policy will be given. While implementing, they are following the policy, but the implementation may vary. Like in Tamil Nadu they are teaching Tamil, in Kerala they are teaching Malayalam. Okay, but the policy says that the first language should be your regional language. Implementation will vary, and how they are teaching that language will vary, depends upon the school. Yes or no? So this is what we are calling it as interfaces. Any doubts? So in Java, an interface is a reference type similar to our class that contain only constants, method signatures, default methods, static methods, and nested types. So they are given some prototype similar to our class. Okay, in that prototype we may have some constants. For example, if you are creating one developing a motor vehicle, okay, for example car, okay, nowadays the policy says that there should be minimum of 2 airbags in all the models what we are producing by any company. So the number of airbags equal to 2. It may be constant. Okay, so similar way we may have some constants, and we are having method signature. Method signature in the sense, if you are developing or we are trying to open a school, okay, I have to follow that policy NEP 2020. There I will implement to teach 3 languages, but which language, how we are teaching, it will be vary, depends upon the school. Okay, so that is the signature will be there in the interface. While implementing the interface, the methods, the implementation of the methods will vary, depends upon the class. Purida? Okay, so similarly the interface may have default methods. Default method means it is as it is while implementing in the class. It should be like that only. And also static methods as well as some nested types. And method bodies, that means the implementation. Implementation only exists for default methods and static methods. And interface cannot be instantiated. We cannot create objects for any interface. We have to implement interface using classes, and we can create object for that classes only. We can't create object for any interface. Okay, it is a generic structure only. Okay, and a class that implements an interface must implement all the methods declared in the interface. If I want to open a school, run a school, I have to follow all the instructions given by the NEP. Okay, if I want to create a car or manufacturing a car, I have to follow what are the mandatory things given by the agency. Every features will be added to that car. In addition to that, I can include other things, other functionalities, whatever. But what are the things already defined in the interface, I need to implement. I must implement. Okay, அதான் இங்கே சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. So must implement all the methods declared in the interface. And all abstract, default and static method in the interface are implicitly public, because we are going to implement. The interface is a general structure only. Obviously anyone can take that and have to implement it. For that reason all must be in public mode. So it is implicitly public. We need not to tell that it is a public some method name like that. Okay. And the constants given in the interface is implicitly public, static and final value. We can't change the value. Class can implement more than one interface. Normally in inheritance we have seen that we are extending one class. For example, a hostel student or college student class class inherits one class called student. But here we can implement more than one interface. Okay, wow. And what are the keywords? Implements and extends. Implements is used when we are implementing the interfaces. Extends is used where we are extending some interfaces. For example, I am creating one interface with the extension of 2 or more interfaces. In that place, I am using the keyword extends. When creating a class to implement some 1 or more interfaces, I use the keyword implements. Okay, well, here is the example. Public interface, grouped interface. This is the interface name which extends 3 interfaces. Interface 1, 2 and 3. I am creating another new interface with the extension of already available 3 interfaces. Okay, wow. In class, I am implementing. Here I am implementing interface 1 and 2. I can implement one interface alone also. Okay, wow. So normally in interview they will ask one question that whether Java supports multiple inheritance. There is a concept called multiple inheritance, which means we are inheriting properties from more than one parent. More than one parent. So in Java we cannot implement multiple inheritance through classes. That means we cannot inherit more than one parent at a time. But using interfaces, we can do multiple inheritance. That means we are getting all the properties and behavior of interface 1 and properties and behavior of interface 2 and implement all those things in my class. But we cannot inherit more than one class. Okay, for example, parent 1, parent 2, I cannot inherit both the parents. Parent 1 and 2. I can inherit either parent 1 or parent 2. So using classes, I cannot achieve multiple inheritance in Java, but through interface, I can perform multiple inheritance. Okay, this is the interview question. Any doubts? No doubts. So it is a reference type. It contains some constants and some abstract methods. That means method signature. There is no implementation for that method. Those methods we call it as abstract methods, and default methods, static methods. And default methods and static methods alone having bodies. Abstract methods don't have bodies. That means doesn't have implementation, and interface cannot be instantiated. All the methods in the interface must be implemented by the class which implement that interface. And all the methods are public, all the constants are final, static and public, and we can implement more than one interface into a class. Okay, there are 2 keywords involved. One is implements and another one is extends. Any doubts? Everything clear? Okay, let's see the code. So here I am trying to create one interface called vehicle. So this is how I can create an interface in Java. The keyword interface, then the name of the interface, like very similar to our class name, like that interface name. Okay, so I am writing with all the examples, like I am having one constant called type. The constant name is type, the type is string, the value is transport. Why we are giving values here? Because it is a final. So since it is a final data, I have to give the value during the initialization itself, that declaration itself. And I am having one abstract method. So abstract method is nothing but the method signature alone will be there. There is no implementation. That is, method body will not be there. So void start engine, and I'm having one default method. So default method is defined using the keyword default. So default and my method is fuel up. There is some implementation. For example, I am giving one printing statement alone. We can write what are the statements we want to perform under the method fuel up. Okay, here I am writing only one print statement and one static method show type, and I am trying to implement that interface vehicle. So I am creating one class called car and implements vehicle. So if I am trying to implement one interface, I need to define or I need to implement all the methods present in the interface. So default method and static method, it is already defined. Okay, so all the abstract methods I need to define in my class. So here I am having only one abstract method, start engine. So I have to implement that start engine method here. So again I am writing only one print statement, but actually we need to write some code, some real code to perform starting the engine. So consider one EV vehicle, okay, one automatic vehicle, okay, fully automated car. For that, whenever I am entering into the car, the engine automatically starts. For that we need to write a code, yes or no? So that code should be present inside this. Okay, and I am creating another class called motorcycle which implements vehicle. So again I need to define the abstract method start engine here. Okay, then I am writing my driver class here with my main method. So since it is a, what is this? Static method. So I am having my static method show type. So I can directly call using the interface name. And I am creating my object here. Vehicle my car equal to new car of. See here I am writing car of, not vehicle of. Because we cannot create object for a interface. I can create object for the class alone. So my new car of, I am creating object for the class as well as for motorcycle, and trying to call the methods using the object. Okay, as usual program, and we are just trying to check the working condition, okay, whether it is executing properly or not. I am just trying to call that method using the objects my car and my motorcycle. Okay, any doubts? So the concept is very simple, very similar to the class. We are creating one interface. In interface mostly we are having abstract methods, because the class which is going to implement that interface only define the actual implementation for all those methods. Okay, we may have static methods as well as default methods. We may have. Normally we are having abstract methods. Okay, but we can include our static methods and default method also, and we are also having our constants if we want. Maybe while creating policy we may have some constants. At that time we also define those constants also. Okay, any doubts? So the keyword here we need to use is implements, not extends, because we are actually implementing the interface. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts? No doubts. Okay.